inside the Twitter context from your mobile device. So let me show you RmbrMe pitch. And while it's actually launching, I want to say I'm getting really good behind the scenes info about how you make a gazillion bubbles. If you have a minute, you should come up here because this machine is fascinating. Okay, so this is RmbrMe pitch, and a couple of quick things. It's very, very simple to send your beam along with your pitch. You just enter an email address, a mobile phone number, or a Twitter ID into the Beam2 field. You can customize a greeting, which is this field right here, or use your standard one. You can choose the file that you're going to beam, and you press the beam button. We gather some location information, so we actually create a context-sensitive map, and the beam is sent along. And then inside Twitter, what actually happens is your recipient gets a DM with a secure link to go look at your actual, look at the file that you sent them.
That was awesome. I now know how to do the hashtag in big audiences. Any questions?
Ask me about bubbles. No, actually, wait, the machine actually has little bubble things, like the thing you pull out of the bottle, and it blows air on it, I can see. Yes, RmbrMe question.
That's the question. If you haven't really gotten on the iPhone type of thing, and you have to build these iPhones, I think only 2% of the population uses iPhones.
So what happens if you're not on an iPhone is the question?
You're not on an iPhone.
So the answer to that question is very simple. If the sender in our context has to have an iPhone, but the recipient doesn't even need to have a smartphone. In fact, if you have like a Nokia candy bar phone that's like 15 years old, you can still get the beam that someone sends you. It's critical that the sender of this, it's in our design, it's super critical that the sender not need to know anything about the recipient's device at all. No, like, hey, what kind of phone are you on? Oh, do you have this application on your iPhone? Wait a second, load it up. That doesn't work. And then it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And then part two is the recipient needs to not have any special hardware, software, or a login to get your information. So in the recipient flow, they don't have to log in. They don't need anything special. It doesn't matter. It works every single time. Every time.
Congrats on the launch and the press. Very cool. Are you guys from New York? Yeah. New York City? Yeah. That's awesome.
Harlem.
Harlem? Wow. So you came downtown. This is downtown. That's awesome.
To more formats than any other platform out there, and also our API. It's used by the majority of our customers, including ourselves. Everything you're going to see here, we built using our own API, in particular the JavaScript library. So, within the account, you can upload any media you want. We fully support video, audio, and photos. Thanks, Nate. There's a 2 gig limit within the browser, but you can get around that if you use the API. In terms of organizational tools, regardless of how much content you upload, it's really not going to be an issue to manage it. On average, our customers manage 150 video clips per account. We have some media publishers that manage over 15,000 clips in a single account. In terms of the management tools themselves, over on the left here, we've got media bins, basically just static folders. Filters are conditional folders. You can use conditions like tagged with, date added, media type, either video, audio, photos, documents. We try and gracefully handle everything. For every piece of media, you've also got the standard metadata tools you'd expect within this little drop-down we call the inspector, title, description, tags. You can preview the video, device, platform, and connection speed to deliver them 2 things. An encoding that is compatible with their device, for one, and also the highest quality encoding based on a couple of criteria, primarily their connection speed. How are our compression speeds? Well, we're doing everything server side, so we own and maintain all of our own infrastructure. We don't host on any third-party service like Amazon S3 or EC2. We deploy a pretty large cluster. We can do a couple hundred simultaneous encodes. Generally, they're very quick. We are a business platform, so generally queue times are no more than a couple minutes at most. But it is on a first-come, first-served basis as far as our users are concerned.
Everyone welcome Tristan from Apture.
So my name is Tristan. I'm the CEO and co-founder of a company called Apture. And Apture is, basically we're trying to transform the web experience into something multi-dimensional. We're trying to totally change the way you experience content on the internet and let you experience it in the moment, gluing readers to the site. You don't have to leave, you can surf at the speed of thought. What does that mean? If you're on a page and you'd like to know more about, say, something like Radiohead, you can zoom in here. There's a little icon next to Radiohead. And if you click on it, you can get a little window of information about Radiohead. Now this is, I know, not like what you think it is, which is the last 10 years of sort of the annoying stuff that kind of pops up to you on the internet. What's different is that I can sort of drag this around. If I mouse over the photograph, I can open up a slideshow. I can see some photos of Radiohead, where they're from. We go into the table of contents of the Wikipedia article, learn about their formation. They're from Abingdon, Oxfordshire. Where is that? You click, notice when I click on any blue Wikipedia link, I can open up multiple layers without leaving. We geo-encode every Wikipedia article, so you can see an instant Google map. You can zoom in, you can maximize and sort of navigate the content any way you want. And it's just an extremely powerful way of navigating information at the speed of thought.
When are you coming to New York?
Yeah, exactly. When are you coming to New York?
We'll open up an office soon. Actually, I'm here in New York this week for publisher meeting, so I'm available later if you want to talk to me.
Okay, one more question. Anybody up top? Whoa, up top. We haven't asked yet. Can you ask? Yeah.
Hey, how many people did it take to build this, and what's the platform?
The question was, how many people did it take to build this? I was going to repeat the question. How many people did it take to build this, and what's the platform? So it's all Django on the back end. It's probably one of the most lightweight and complex JavaScript applications that's been built. The team is 3 computer science graduate students from Stanford. We've been building this for about 2.5 years. And someone else's question, we're working with the New York Times, Washington Post, and Reuters, and we're live on 3 sites, those 3 sites.
As this sort of like we broke it, we bought it thing going on in Iraq. So so they asked a few companies, sort of slotted in different areas of information, and you know, from Google and YouTube and Twitter and a few others that I'll tell you about, to basically get on a plane like this and go to Baghdad a week and a half ago. And go and talk to them about building infrastructure for the internet, so that vital plumbing for democracy goes and helps them and the people. And I didn't know what the hell I was getting into. I went because you know, hell, if a million, give or take, you know, troops can go there and risk their lives, and they say, you know, we'd be protected like kittens, you know, how can I say no? But I really didn't know what, you know, if it was going to be valuable to anyone. And it turned out that I think it was, and I'll tell you why. So let me just give you the a quick little slideshow of some of the trip. I got to just sort of get out of the way the geek stuff, because people that we met with and the security people around us, they were so blown away by how this like sort of geek delegation was so intrigued by the geek shit, like the plane, and so you know, we got on this windowless jet, and you know, you load in the back, and you're inside the plane, and it's like some sort of Jerry Lewis movie here. That is how loud it was. That's Jack, the founder of Twitter. And then we get off that hour-and-a-half plane. We get off that plane and get thrown right on these 2 helicopters to go from the Baghdad airport. It was too dangerous to go, you know, on the road to the international zone, to the green zone from the Baghdad airport. This was the view of Baghdad. Stephen Levy from Wired, and they had 2 guys hanging out hanging out both sides of these helicopters with you know, guns. So speaking of guns, this is this is, you know, for a peace, love, and understanding community guy like me, I can't understand why the security thing was so fascinating. But you know, if you're like sort of in your 30s and your visions of grandeur from adolescence or your 20s are sort of fading away,